I've been dragging my feet on doing this story because I wish I could tell you where this little girl is. I wish I could give you a theory on where this little girl is, but honestly, I can't. And I don't think police can either. She walked into her house and she vanished, and that's all we really know. So this is what I can put together of the strange disappearance of Summer Wells. The Wells family lived in a rural part of Hawkins County, Tennessee. They were outdoorsy people, spending a lot of time on their property with their kids. The family consisted of the mom, Candus, the dad, Donald, and 4 children. 3 boys, and then a 4-year-old little girl named Summer Utah Moon Wells. In old photos of Summer, you can see her playing in the dirt and laughing and singing in mud puddles. Summer had this big, beautiful smile and long blonde hair. Their house is a modest home surrounded by trees. It sits on a hill up a dirt road. The lawn has old vehicles, dogs, and a tree swing. Near the house was an RV that Candy lived in. Candy is Candace's mom. Candy wanted to be close to her grandkids. On June 15th, 2021, the children had a fun day with their mother. Candace, Sydney, and the kids were swimming in the local creek. After swimming, the grandmother took Summer outside to help her plant some flowers in the yard. This is something they both like to do. And Summer was this outdoorsy girl, right? She loved getting in the mud. The little girl with a now shaved head can be seen just a little sadder in recent photos. After spending time with Sydney, Summer asked to go inside to play with her toys. Her grandmother said it would be fine, and she watched her as she walked up to the door. From there, no one has seen Summer again. The 4-year-old vanished that day. Her disappearance has baffled the world. The small girl with short hair and a big toothless smile has captivated all of us. Some think it was a kidnapping, some point fingers at the parents, but this strange mystery is one that keeps growing the longer we go. It's been a few years, and now is the time to tell it all and really look at the case of Summer Wells. What happened on that summer day? Now, as far as we know on that day, Summer did make it inside. Her mother, Candace, asked the 3 older brothers to watch Summer as she went to help Candy. It was suspected that Summer was last seen heading down the stairs to play with her toys in hand. We think all of this happened, but I think we're getting that from the brothers as well as the mom. So no one is really sure. Next, it said that Candace went back to check on the kids, and Summer was just gone. They looked everywhere for Summer, but she was missing. That day, June 15th, Summer was reported missing, and the Tennessee Bureau of Investigation, the TBI, put out an endangered child alert for her. Later that night, an Amber Alert for Summer was issued. At first, the investigation went strong. They searched as much of the terrain as they could. It was difficult because it was dense woods. They also claimed that the reception to cell phones and radios were blocked because of the dense terrain. They searched 4.6 of the wild terrain surrounding the house in just 1 week, but nothing was found. It was as if she just vanished. Investigators said in the press conference around this time that they do not believe she was abducted. However, they did not have any evidence to say what they actually believed happened. So at this point, things get messy. Online sleuths go crazy about this case. TikTok exploded with people searching for the little girl, and rumors flew. People pointed the finger at the parents first. The family lived in what is referred to as the Hollers of Tennessee. This house was a bit different, and the parents were a bit different. But I want to make something clear that a lot of people have not made when covering this case. Just because someone lives differently does not make them harm their child. I have seen a lot of cases of parents having CPS called on them because they were maybe a little bit more dirty than some families, or they lived a little differently. extreme filth is abuse, yes. But I'm not sure we can say that that's a fact in this case. However, this is where things start appearing about the family that raises some eyebrows. And it's to everybody, including me. First, on July 26, 2021, Dawn and Candace's sons are removed from their care. They were taken by CPS, and the reason was a couple things. First, I'm sure it was Summer's disappearance. They can point to neglect because that child disappeared and you don't have any answers. And I think that's one of the reasons. Other reasons was because Dawn started drinking heavily. And because of the condition of the house. Now, let's pause for a minute and talk about this house because it is a bit different. You can see this house tour online that this podcaster did shortly after Summer disappeared. And you can see the inside and the outside of the house for yourself. And let's be honest, it's a bit run down. But, like I said, let's not judge just fully off of that. Let's take everything all into consideration. So the mom, showed the podcaster how you get down in the basement in one video. And I think this is very, very important to see for yourself in this case. It's hard to describe. It's hard to describe if not seeing it because it's very different. I thought, okay, this child went down in the basement. Like, they went down some stairs and there's a basement. But that is not the case. So I'm going to try to explain it, but I probably don't do it justice. So look up the video Summerwells house tour and you can see that. So the living room has a table and it is packed with things. On the back side of this table is like this secret passageway. This is important because Summer went down to the basement. That is where she was going on the day that she disappeared. And in the basement is split to where there is Summer's room on one side and the parents' room on the other. This may not be the typical setup of a typical home, but it is 4 walls and a bed. The interesting part to me was that in the basement there's another door. And I don't know why they don't access that door more, because that makes more sense to me. But instead, they do this, like, crawling backwards thing down into the basement. Like I said, it's very hard to describe. But they don't use this door to the outside from the basement very often, is what Summer's mother says. She does say that Summer sometimes will go out that door, and right in front of that is like a cement slab. And she said that Summer likes to play right outside that door sometimes. And in the video, you can see her opening it, and it is unlocked. Now, we don't know the specifics of that day, if that is unlocked, locked. No idea. No idea. So the home is dirty and it is cramped with things, but like I said, that doesn't make you guilty. So let's move on and look at some other things in this case. So back to the timeline and the suspicion on the parents. So shortly after the boys are taken away, Don Wells, the father, is arrested on a DUI charge. He is guilty and jailed for a while because of the DUI. And it all comes out that he was also on probation for a GUN charge. This all came out in other stories that were breaking, that Dawn and Candace had some major fights before Summer went missing. In 2020, Candace and Dawn had a fight, and this is why Dawn is on probation. It was for DV and then that other charge. Candace also filed a protection order for her and her children's safety during this time. And that is before Summer even went missing. But a week later, she withdrew this. Now, this happens a lot in DV charges. We see back and forth. We see protection order, and then it goes back, and then protection order. They see this a lot. So this tells us a few things. First of all, Don is not a great guy. No matter what, he has been charged for these things. He has had a protection order on him. He just isn't a great guy. He has a few violent charges in a few states, and drinking does not seem to be his friend. It seems to be that he gets violent while drinking. He talked later in interviews that he got a DUI because he was distraught over everything that happened with Summer. So let's unpack this really fast because I want to make this very clear. So he got the charges for DV and the GUN charge before Summer went missing. He got the DUI charge after Summer went missing, and he blames the DUI on all of the things that had happened. So I just wanted to make that clear and lay that out for you guys. Like I said, in this case, things get messy very quick. In the midst of all of this, the search for Summer is still ongoing. The police released a statement saying that they are searching for a red pickup truck that may have been a potential witness in this case. They do not say this is a potential suspect, they say a witness. It's a red or maroon 1998 to 2000 Toyota Tacoma with a full bed ladder rack with white buckets in the bed. Here's the weird part. So I tried searching for if this vehicle is sought in connection with this case, and it seems so. Most articles I found were around 2021 to 2023. All of them saying that the truck is still identified, like unidentified. So the truck is still a big mystery in this case. Like, whoever it is hasn't come forward yet. I don't know what's going on with this truck. If they are a suspect, which seems a little bit likely because sometimes the police use this as a tactic, they haven't come forward yet. If they're just a witness, they haven't come forward yet. So it's very strange. I still can't find anything else about it, so that really intrigues me. I do think that it's strange because in one interview I saw with Summer's teacher, she said that they aren't even looking for this truck anymore and this wasn't even a thing. So some of you might get that fact, but I can't find anything either way on this. So what's with the truck? We don't know. We don't even know if we're supposed to be looking for the truck. Which is not a great move on police's part if they want us to identify this, right? I don't know. Now, these are the details that really got me. Summer has never been found. To this day, 3 years later, no trace of Summer has ever been found. It's literally, she was picked up off the earth and we have no evidence, no trace. As far as what is reported by Dawn, Candus and Candy have passed polygraphs. So this is weird to me. To this day, the parents still don't have custody of their other 3 children. They say their theory is that someone came on the property and took Summer from their home or their property. A neighbor has also heard screams from that day, but it wasn't clear on what really happened there. So I don't really know. So in the last 3 years, Dawn and Candace have been put through it. Their lives have been spread on the internet and they have been accused of everything under the sun. Let's talk about some of the rumors that are out there, and people have gathered these as red flags. It's good to know this stuff, but keep in mind that some of these could really create damage if they are false. First big thing in this case that comes up a lot is people accusing Dawn of SAing children. So this hasn't been proven by any credible source online that I could find. Please link it if it has. But people have rumored that Don is a predator. They say that he has SA'd family members of his, and they kind of point to Summer's behavior as maybe she was being SA'd. They point to pictures of Summer covering herself, that maybe she doesn't want people to see that. But there are also rumors that her dad took showers with her. This is not proven at all, and I really hope that she was not. I hope that this baby was not SA'd. So second was abuse and neglect charges. People say that this family had a history of getting children removed from their care. They allude to the children that were neglected in the care, like baths, food, medical care. These are huge things that are child abuse and neglect that we should be taking seriously. And if there is anything substantiated in that, which that's all left to the people investigating this case, that is not for me to investigate. But that should be taken seriously. People point to Summer's hair as a form of abuse. There are two sides to this. So people say that Summer's hair was cut against her will. I don't know how I feel about this. To me, like, that's part of your body, and I don't think anybody's hair should be cut without their permission. So I don't know. The family has said that they've said two things. They said the first time that her hair was very tangled and was uncontrollable, so they cut it. In another story, her mom says that she wanted it cut because her brothers have short hair, her mom has short hair, and she just wanted it cut. Which, if she wanted it cut, like, cool. But this is a big point of, like, contention between their stories, because this is where you see two different stories being told, and it's like, both of them cannot be true. So, can we pick one? But I don't really know. I don't know if it was cut because she wanted it or not. So, I wish we could ask her, but she's not here to do that. So, I don't know what to make of this. The third red flag is the way that the parents have acted. And I've talked a little bit about that they lie about certain things like the hair. But the big things, like her final moments, seem to have stayed the same. Their body language is so weird, and I don't know what to make of that. But I just think, like, people have both sides of this. Like, there's people who believe that they're just weird, and then there's people who believe that they were very abusive. And I don't think we have facts that they were abusive. So I just don't know where I stand on it because I don't know them personally. The fourth thing is a big one. And this is a rumor that has kind of gotten out of control. But it comes up a lot with this case. And that is that Candus was hanging out with a teenage boy the day that Summer went missing. The rumor is they were drinking at the creek together, and this is a big no-no. This should not be happening. I don't know what this is, but they say that a 15-year-old boy was questioned by police afterwards, and Candus pressured him on what to say and asked him what he said. This is very creepy to me because this kind of is a weird line between, like, adult and kid relationships and drinking and SA, and, like, it's a weird thing. And it shouldn't have happened regardless, but I don't know what to make of any of that rumor. So he may know more about the disappearance than we do. I don't know. It's just weird. This whole case is a big, weird mess. And like I said, like, we just don't have the evidence to put behind some of this stuff. And it's so hard to figure out what I feel. The parents say that Summer was abducted, and they stand by that today. They say that she was taken off of their property. The internet has pressured and rumored and destroyed these parents. The cops have gave us absolutely nothing. And the case is growing cold already. We have no solid information. It's if she walked into that house and then vanished forever. Like, that's it. That's all we know. So where is this little girl? Where is Summer? And what happened that day? If you have any information, please contact authorities. I don't know what else to say. Like, this one's just frustrating. So that is the case of Summer Wells.